Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I am going to use today to talk about anxiety. So, anxiety is one of my favorite mental health conditions. It's one I'm very, very familiar with. And today I'm going to talk a bit about what the signs are to spot whether or not you might have anxiety, what the general treatment approach is, and whether or not you have a friend who might be struggling and what you can do to help them. So, first of all, anxiety is really, really common. In Australia, I think the rate is roughly 13 or 14%. I think in Korea it's about 10%. So, anxiety is often, if you've got a test coming up, you might feel anxious, or you've got a performance coming up, so you might feel anxious, or you've got something coming up that's out of the ordinary that you've been preparing for, and you might feel anxious about it. That's normal. That's okay, right? Anxiety is when it is a sort of a generalized feeling of dread, often, that exists over a really long period of time. Again, remember, it's duration, severity, and impact. So how long have you been feeling this way? How severe is it? And what impact is it having on your life? So anxiety becomes a problem if it's having an impact on your daily living, and usually have these symptoms been going on for over a month or so. So what are some of the symptoms of anxiety? Okay, so sleeping too much, not being able to sleep at all, not eating enough, eating too much, mouth dry, heart palpitations, withdrawing from things that you used to enjoy doing, feeling overwhelmed by small tasks that before you would have been absolutely fine in completing, but suddenly it's all become too much. Feeling like everybody's watching you, feeling like you're going to make a mistake and being consistently worried about making a mistake, feeling this constant need to control everything so that nothing goes wrong, so that you can keep everything perfect. A lot of those things are signs of anxiety. Oh, and self-medication. So things like substance use. So if people are drinking or using other drugs, that's also often a sign that anxiety is at play, because people are trying to self-medicate so that they don't actually feel worse. They're trying to make themselves feel better. So what often happens is that how we, in our brain, we have the stress and the trauma responses to fight, fly, freeze, and fawn. There's 4 responses. There's 4 trauma responses. And what happens is when you have anxiety, is those responses are being triggered all the time. They're being triggered when they don't need to be triggered. And that's when you know that there's a problem. So what happens is with anxiety, when it's not treated, is your body is in a constant state of fight or flight and freeze, and you're always worried that something is going to go wrong. And it actually exhausts you. So you burn out because you're in such a state of hypervigilance, and it's too much. You can't consistently live like you're under threat. When we were cave people, it was good to feel that way. Like, there's a tiger coming. Oh, okay, I need the adrenaline to be released so that I can run or so I can fight. But if you're getting generalized anxiety and you're getting that fight freeze response all the time when you don't need to, there's a problem. And it does fatigue both your mind and your body. The other thing is you'll often find that if you've had anxiety over a period of time, that you might even start to find that you get sick more frequently. Colds, stomach upsets is another big thing. Oh my goodness. When my anxiety flares up, my stomach is so bad. That's another thing that we've got to consider as well. So again, with the treatment of anxiety, if it's gone on for an extended period of time, you go to your doctor. You explain what your symptoms are. Don't lie about them. Explain what they are. The treatment for anxiety, again, will probably be medication, so some type of antidepressant that the doctor does prescribe for you, and dedicated counselling. On top of that, there's also a myriad of other things you need to do in your daily life to control that anxiety. Well, not control it, but live with it, okay? Things like getting enough sleep is really important. Getting enough exercise. So I work out nearly every day because my anxiety drives me crazy if I don't. I have to do something, right? So it's getting rid of that anxious pent up energy. making sure I get enough sleep. I very rarely drink. I certainly don't touch any other substances. And taking things like your regular medication, eating right, doing things in your life that make you happy. So trying to make sure that choices that you make and jobs that you do or things that you do align with the values that you have. So are these things that are making you happy? Are these things that are making you anxious? Do you have a supportive group of people around you? Are your friends supportive, or are they trying to judge you? I think all of those things are really important. And when you're going through a tough time, like if you've first been diagnosed or you're in the process of thinking maybe that there's something wrong and you need a diagnosis, it's really important that you're around people that are supportive, who will understand how you're feeling. Or if they don't understand it, they're at least being empathetic towards it. If you have a friend that you think is struggling, there's a plan that you need to follow. So first of all, communicate non-judgmentally. So you might say something like, look, I've noticed that you seem to be worried a lot all the time, or I notice you're having trouble sleeping, or you're getting a lot of headaches, you're getting sick a lot of the time. I'm really concerned about you. Is everything okay? Give this person a space to talk. Give them time to be able to explain how they're feeling. And then you want to validate that. And you want to say, okay, this must be really difficult for you. You want to then give support. And you want to say to this person, this is how you're feeling now, but with the right support, you will not always feel this way. Then you want to encourage professional supports. So have you encouraged this person to go and see a doctor? Have you encouraged them to reach out for other support? Have you encouraged them to ring a helpline? Okay, all of these things are incredibly important. And then you want to encourage other supports. You want to encourage this person to be able to talk to their parents, their family, their friends, or whoever else they feel that they can talk to in order to get the extra support that they need. Struggling with anxiety is not the same as feeling a little bit nervous before a test or a performance. Struggling with anxiety is an up at dawn, really intense, exhausting journey to have to live with. It is an illness and it needs the support that any medical illness does. If you are struggling with anxiety, please remember to seek help. If you think you know someone who's struggling with anxiety, try and have that conversation with them. Try and ask them, try and talk to them, and remind them you're not trying to judge them. You care about them and you want to see them get the help that they need. If you are struggling with anxiety, I see you, I hear you. It is a tough road, but you are not alone and help is out there.